Quack.
Quack.
Quack, quack, quack.
Quack.
Oh, quack.
Quack. 12
Quack,
p.m.
quack.
Oh! I am your host, Adam Chimayo.
And I am your other host, Aaron C. Schroeder.
That is right, and this is the Quack 12 podcast, the most official and the most unofficial official Oregon Ducks podcast on the web footosphere. And Aaron, hell of a run.
Bruh.
Hell of a run, baby.
Are we just getting into it?
Let's fucking get right into it. Ducking get right into it, because I
There
got
we
a
go.
lot to talk about Quacksaball.
Oh, really?
Quacksaball. Quacksaball. Quacksaball.
Some of my favorite parts of that intro video is just the flashing really quick of singular photos on the
Yeah. Yeah, listeners, there's a visual component to this. If you go over to the Quack 12 YouTube, you could be seeing us. What are you doing here? Come on.
You got to get on our
Yeah.
YouTube. Follow us. Subscribe.
You gotta get on our YouTube. And if you're on our YouTube, might as well get on our Patreon. It's $5 measly bucks. You get unlimited, well, it's limited, but you get hundreds of hours of Oregon Duck history, entertainment, so much fun stuff going on there. But Quacksaball.
Let's get
Aaron, goddamn, what a gutsy, inspiring performance. Now, obviously, to get here, because, to tell the whole story of Oregon Duck basketball, this season, that is.
Okay, I was about to be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You do have a lot to talk about.
1939, we won the national championship. Okay, so, it really started, I think. I mean, not really. We had the full regular season of, ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime we built some momentum, it was immediately cut down because we'd lose in embarrassing fashion to a team that,
I do. I'm sure our loyal listeners will know that there was a certain point where you and I both decided, well, it's a bust.
I mean, I definitely thought it was going that way, especially with the injuries.
Yes.
And there was a stretch where it just didn't seem like we had enough players. But if you look at the beginning of the season, especially before game one or before, whatever that negative week was in which all of our players all of a sudden needed surgery.
Right.
I was hyped that I was like, this is a freaking national championship contender. And I still
They kind of were.
I mean, dude, imagine
We contended.
imagine the team that we just saw with 7-foot Nate Biddle. So you actually get some time where, Dante can fucking rest for a moment.
Yeah.
Guards like fucking Mookie's out there. Keyshawn was having a great season. He would have absolutely feasted if he could have played in this tournament. But so we had ups and downs. We had injuries that were obviously derailing us. That was the biggest part of the season.
Yeah.
Then we enter the Pac-12 tournament. We have to win the whole thing to even get there. And who is it? I mean, Dante just freaking dominates. Dante's like, I'm not ending my college career losing first game of the Pac-12 tournament. Like, I'm making the dance. And
That's
he
right.
did. Dance we did. With boom, 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 3 games in a row, 3 days in a row.
And
just amazing, yeah.
And just imagine, dear listener, if you will, the NCAA tournament had we just one more person who could put buckets in. Just needed one.
Oh, my God. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But so we get to the tournament by upsetting Arizona, by beating Colorado, by beating UCLA.
But not in that order.
It's amazing to be there. Not in that order. Kind of reverse, actually. And so we make it to the tournament. We're still tired because we had what was it,
3
4 days? I think something,
3.
Something
we
like
had
that.
a Sunday, a Monday,
Colorado
Tuesday.
was the 16th.
We had 4 days. You're right.
March. No, actually, it's a little bit more. Well, no. You're right. Because March 16th,
We played on a Saturday.
We played, and then March 21st. So it's 4 days of not playing in between.
Which is fine.
I mean, it's fine, but it's not even like that was 3 games in a row in 3 days. So it's like we were already beat. I think even in this South Carolina game, you could use even in this game, which we dominated, which, especially a couple players just were on fire. Even then, you could sense some tired legs,
Oh, dude. Yeah. The ending of the second half, it was apparent.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
against Creighton, yeah. Let's talk about the good, the game that made us feel good inside.
Oh,
South Carolina.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I felt like you could see
true.
it. I felt like you could see it there. I feel like the announcers even brought it up, maybe.
That's true.
But also, I just blanked on his name. Did he get 40 fucking points that game?
Yeah. Jermaine Couisnard. Let's just take a moment to applaud Jermaine Couisnard and N'Faly Dante, man. And coming into this tournament, we were all thinking, oh, Dante's got this. Dante is the leader of this team. We weren't ragging on our guards. The guard play was still good. We were doing enough, but we were coming off games where we were not hitting the 3 well, where we were looking best when Couisnard abandoned the 3 and just be like, I'm just going to body my way to the hoop, which is, a good way to win. But Couisnard came in this. This is against his former team. Also, the storyline they kept saying, his family's in the crowd. And I legit think that was a big part of it.
Oh, my God. Right? I think so, 100%. Grandma Couisnard can probably make anyone shoot 5 times better just with her presence. I also bet she makes a mean fucking casserole.
Absolutely. I mean,
it's delish.
She's not flying to make it for you, that's for sure. She's not getting on a plane.
No,
and
they drove, right?
Yeah, they drove. I think they said they had to wake up super early to get there. I forget. I think they're all from the Chicago area. I know he is.
Yeah, I feel like it was a 6-hour drive, if I remember the specifics.
And we were playing in
announcers.
Pittsburgh, so I don't know if that fully lines up, but it sounds about right. It was really cool to see them there. And honestly, this game, it did still feel close. Because that first half, we were pulling away, but then they got that last second three-pointer, that 3/4 shot three-pointer. We still had a lead, so it didn't feel like a backbreaker or anything. But that did kill the momentum a little bit.
A pinch.
A pinch. And you were afraid, SC, they're a smaller team. They were looking to, they were going to try to shoot the 3, to try to get back in on this. But Couisnard wasn't having that shit. Absolutely he wasn't. Couisnard finishes this game, 40 points, 14 of 22. 14 of 22. That is some good shooting, man.
Fuck yeah.
5 of 9 from 3 as well. He got 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Also, he almost did the thing that you're always talking about.
Point a minute.
40 points, 37 minutes. So actually, no, he did.
He did it.
It's crazy to play 37
just that easy,
minutes.
Adam.
It's just that easy. It's crazy to play 37 minutes and then still score more than a point.
I mean,
yeah.
By minute 20, you have to be either your forearm is just murder. And I mean, he's playing with a bummed out left shoulder to boot. And it's just dear God. Oh,
I was shocked how well he played. 37 minutes in there.
And I was in awe.
Yeah. Dante also had, kind of a mortal game for him. Still had a great game. Still is an absolutely amazing player. He got 23 points, 36 minutes played. That's a lot. This is the difference, I feel like. Couisnard was so hot that it's you shouldn't take him out, period. Even if we had other guards.
Right.
But Dante, he only would have been better if he isn't having to play through all this shit. But 23 points from the big man, 7 of 9 from the floor, so still ridiculously consistent. Not as consistent as, 100% like he did against Colorado.
Right.
But crazy good. I think and Jackson Shellstad had a good game too, actually. Not wonderful, but 11 points.
He showed up.
Which
could have
this
used
game
him
was
in
good.
OT2 in the next game.
Oh,
but anyway.
God. Oh,
but
God.
anyway. Well,
3
he
of
was
17
injured, let's
for
be
him.
fair. He
was
wasn't
injured,
even really
yeah.
playing in those.
We'll get into that.
We had
one.
our
We'll get
wild
into
card. We'll get there. We'll get there.
that. I think another huge problem here is that it's just we didn't. They kept saying like, "Oh, Oregon's playing with 8 men. Oregon's playing with 8 men." Oregon's playing with like 6.5 men.
Yeah.
Let's be fucking
Yeah.
real. Our bench in this game scored a combined 2 points.
How do you combine that? Did someone get fouled with 1 point? Or just one person made a bucket and that's
One
it?
person scored. Brennan Rigsby scored 1 bucket.
There it is. Okay, I remember that one. It was pretty hot.
And then Rigsby and Aquendo both missed their 1 free throw. So that's how you do it.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
That's how it's done, baby. Or maybe I'm wrong, actually. Hold on. No, they both missed their what? Oh, they both didn't even get a free throw. So, but overall, we were 24 of 30 from the free throw, too. That certainly helped. We out-rebounded them 32-26. That's certainly going to help. Mm-hmm. And you know, 1 second, I got a cough. Sorry, listeners. One reason I think why this game was so dominant is because we were just playing fucking Dana Altman ball. We were playing that matchup zone, but also constantly switching back and forth. So the other team just doesn't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like it's every single time you're facing a new defense. And then we basically kept them to. I mean, the goal is under 70 points. Obviously, we didn't this time. And I agree with you. We were a little more tired in the second half, way sloppier in the second half. Mm-hmm. Even though that's where we like really pulled away from them. Our defense was a lot looser in that second half. Like we felt like we had won the game. I felt, we pull this one out.
I mean, to a degree, I feel like there was maybe 4 minutes left in the game, 5 minutes left in the game. You know, an amount of time where even a dominant lead, anything could theoretically happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But even then, I felt comfortable. I was like, well, we're up by like 11, I think, or 10 with like 4 minutes to go, maybe even 8. And for whatever reason, I was like, well, I feel okay about this because they were kind of shooting like trash too.
They really were. And also really it's like, I'll tell you this. They're not going to stop Kuznard. That is clear.
Yeah.
Or
and Dante had him pegged on the same point.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Dante too. I mean, the whole game felt pretty damn good. It's fun to do it against an SEC team. It felt so good that I made this graphic that YouTube watchers will be able to see.
It's perfect.
It's Dante. He's Godzilla. He's holding a basketball over South Carolina. So there you go. Had to show my work, you know.
It's beautiful.
Actually, Michi Johnson from South Carolina has announced that he's now transferring. He's in the transfer portal. I'm not sure if we really want him, but we certainly need somebody to join us. I mean, he had a pretty good game, though. He scored 24 in this. Overall, fantastic game. And the other thing we should say, Dana Altman with the Oregon Ducks has been to 7 NCAA tournaments, and he has won the first game every single time. That sounds easy, but it is not. I was watching so much March Madness. It's my favorite sporting event. I was watching Boise State, for example. I was watching their game. They had a play-in game. They have been, this is their history, their overall program history. They have been to the NCAA tournament 10 times.
Wow.
And their record is 0-10.
You mean like they haven't even ever won the first game?
They've never won the first game.
Whoa. Well, they're getting there, though.
It's cool getting there, but then you're like, well, you're in a shitty conference, and if you win the conference, you automatically get a go. So it's just clear you're the worst of but anyways, that felt pretty amazing. It was a wonderful game. It was nice to see that. I mean, just what we thought about this team, you know. And then now let's get into it. It's a tough game to talk about, but against Creighton, which is obviously Dana Altman's school before Oregon.
Right. And a big thing that was made a point in the beginning of the game was, much like South Carolina, we were the South Carolina to this team, as in the amount of 3 points that they shoot, we are not used to. Like like the way they play ball is not the way Pac-12 plays ball.
No.
And so that was an interesting hurdle to watch be hurdled twice.
Yeah. Now, I'll say immediately, because this is like, okay, so you play 3 games in a row, and they're not just pickup games. They're not just a regular season game. It's the, like, back to the wall style game. That adds a lot of body stress, emotional stress. You play those 3 days in a row. You get 4 days to not play basketball. Probably still practicing in that period, though. Hopefully not much. But then you play another back to the wall game. You get 1 day break, and then late night that next day, you got to be right back at it. It's amazing how well in shape, like how good a shape these players are. And let's get into this game. I mean, Creighton is a really good team. Dana Altman, obviously, like they love him there almost as much as we love him. He is the winningest coach. I mean, that may change even next week, but he is still the all-time winningest coach at Creighton and at Oregon.
Well,
that's how much of a legend he is.
Do I remember correctly that the president or whomever of Creighton was in the audience?
Athletic director, yeah.
Athletic director, and it was is the number 30 years?
Yeah.
2 coaches?
30 years, 2 coaches. That's what you want to see.
And they're both badasses?
They're both
and
great.
They happen to be friends?
Yeah.
Like this game, I'm sitting there watching this game going, who's going to get to talk shit at the next family dinner?
I don't know if they're
like
friends.
What are the coaches' conversations? Because these are friends.
I don't know if they're friends. Like they may be friends because he took his job. You know, like or
I think
something.
they're friends. I think they're actually
I believe it.
Buds.
Nice. They seem like
that's what it felt like to me via the announcer's words.
And so it was a big deal. I'll tell you, online, there was a bunch of Creighton people being like, they cannot keep up with us. I can't wait to blow the doors off this Oregon team. And the first half, it felt like they did. They didn't, but it felt like they did. Because
they were definitely dominating us.
Oh, my God. The amount of wide open threes that they had in that first half. Wide open, like... could not be more open, and then they'd miss it.
Yes. Oh, like, beautiful.
Ooh. Like
that was beautiful.
This could have been a blowout victory for Creighton if they hit half of those threes in the first half.
Yeah. But they didn't because they're people. And here's what I'm going to say, Adam, to all these Creighton fucking fans out there who thought they were going to blow the doors off of them. I'd never even heard of this school before the game. Well, to see that they were number 3 meant jack shit to me because all I saw was a bunch of losers.
Yeah, basically.
That won by accident because we only had 2 people who could score in overtime.
Yeah. I mean, holy shit, dude. There's no way. Oh, my God. There's no. Okay, we're going to have to pause.
Yeah.
My stupid fucking keyboard is just getting... I bought like the cheapest keyboard possible.
Makes sense.
And
that tracks.
I was like, yeah, what do I need a good keyboard for? But
it's just going to break.
It's just going to break, and now it breaks. And so now it's doing this thing where the USB device, can you hear any of this?
No.
Is constantly, or the... yeah, the cord is like, it's unattached, it's attached, it's unattached, it's attached. So I got to fix it right now.
Okay, well, I have to pee, so here we go. Quack, quack.
Okay. What the fuck? And we are back on Quack. What the hell were we talking about? Oh, yeah, so they were just missing. It was amazing how much they were missing. And then the thing that felt like honest disaster was, because of the way Creighton likes to play, is they really like to spread out the ball. You know what I mean? Really spread it out. Get all 4 guys on the perimeter. So that it's hard to defend, because you got to be spread out. So it opens up lanes. And it should mean that because they're so spread out and so 3-point hungry, that you should have the advantage on the boards. You should be able to get that rebound because 4 of their guys are on the perimeter.
Right.
That first half, somehow they were shooting threes like crazy and then also getting the rebound.
Yeah.
I think, which is, I think, a little bit we were tired, but also being like, we're not a perfect team. We fuck up all the time. And in our best games, we were fucking up constantly. I think
a lot of those threes, I feel like there was at least it felt like a majority percentage of the ones being missed were because Dante was running out, and then all of a sudden the goal's invisible because he's like this. And you're trying just to get it over his fucking gargantuan ass. You know what I mean? So, now our number 1 rebounder is having to run back to the goal. If they can get 2 more guys while the ball's in the air underneath the goal, then they're going to get it because Dante's not there.
Mm-hmm.
But they were missing because we weren't getting in their face, but we were definitely making it harder for them to get clean shots.
Sometimes they were getting in that first half. In the second half, completely different story. But in that first half, it was no one's around you whatsoever. It was insane. They just were, it was bad defense on our part. And then on the other side, we were rushing shots. Also, Dante, from minute 1, you can tell he was tired, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if he's trying to block your shot, he doesn't just have his hands up. He's jumping straight up in the air. He's trying to swat it away. His knees were not bending.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that from Dante. And it's clear he was just fucking tired as shit, which is amazing to then go and look how much production he still got.
Right.
He's so tired, and he still had an amazing game.
B12 is a hell of a drug, Adam.
Yeah. Not only that, but so that first half, things are not looking good. We are missing shots. Not only that, but Kuznard gets 2 quick fouls called on him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And so he's getting benched for a little while, which if you've been watching the last game, you're like, that's not good because he's apparently the only one who can do a fucking thing. That being said, Tracy did get 6 points in that first half, or in the
fucking kid, man,
4 points. Oh yeah,
I am gonna love him next year.
Mm-hmm.
The dude, he's a little gangly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He kind of is like this, and his legs are kind of like this.
He's doing wobbly
so I'll
motions.
be really excited. And this is, he seems like he might still have a bit of emotional playing inside of him, because there was a few errors I saw where it was like, dude, you shouldn't have tried to save that ball. You should have just let it go out of bounds. Dante was right under the goal. You shouldn't have jumped up at the same time as him to grab the ball. There was emotional.
Two times where multiple guys went for the rebound and it went out and it ended up being Creighton ball. And in a game this close, it was just like, oh my.
You can't. Yeah, it's like he is still an emotional player, and I get it. He's young. We all make mistakes like that when he's still learning. But I think next year he will be dynamite. I have a great feeling about.
Yeah.
Huh?
For me, if he wasn't. Okay, let's say he doesn't drastically improve for next year. I still think he's got a real role for this team.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, in my opinion, I don't want him shooting the ball unless he is wide open. and I'm not trying to insult him or anything.
Sure.
But
well, that's this season.
Yeah, this season.
But he's a baby, dude. He's a baby.
That's true.
You know, I think we play with what we got, right?
Mm. He is a junior. I will say that, but continue.
Oh, he's a junior?
Yeah.
So he just has a baby face. He just has the most pretty fucking face ever. My God, I would date him in a second.
His name's Van.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
For me, he's a really good glue player. Like, I think he should be looking to pass the ball. Even if he's cutting to the basket, he should look to pass out. Because I'm just saying, I've never seen him like win the battle if there's a center or something and he's going to I've never seen him win that battle. The best I've seen him play is getting assists, getting the rebounds that he can, and then also being that wing guy that when someone's cut into the basket, they can pass out to him. He's open. He can drain a three.
I was about to say, I do feel like he's got potential in the 3-point land.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great role for him to have. It's a great role to be on the team. And I'm not even saying he wouldn't be. I'll say this: he wouldn't be a starter this year if it weren't for all the injuries. So I'm not sure I want him to be a starter next year.
Interesting.
But it's pretty great that he has so much starting experience now.
Yes.
Which can be said for so much of this team. Now, Jackson Shelstad, a lot of times, some of the best stuff that he is doing is defense. And I think that is very true in this game. He was a little, he's tired too, you know. He's a guy who's playing near 40 minutes every single game as well. He's a freshman. He had one of his worst offensive games in a while.
Ever.
Yeah. He was 3 of 10, played 30. This is pretty crazy. You would think that he wouldn't have played this many because he got injured. Played 37 minutes, though.
That tracks. Because they brought him back in. Are we counting overtime minutes?
I don't think he played in any overtime.
I thought he popped back in during the second overtime.
Second overtime, I'm pretty sure he did not.
Okay, because Rigsby was there.
Oh, Rigsby. We'll get into fucking Rigsby.
I love him.
I got complicated. I'll tell you right now. Rigsby, there's times where I'm like, that dude, he is athletic as hell. Mm-hmm. He may win your dunk contest, you know.
Oh, fuck
There's
yeah.
There's times where he can catch fire from three. But he has had a rough couple of months, I will say, where even coming off of the bench, I'm just worried when he is on the court. He is a foul machine. His defense is a little bit lacking. And his shots have not been falling whatsoever. Brendan Rigsby. Okay, this is not true.
I'm a fan. I can't not be a fan.
I love this. This must be. It has to be a glitch on the ESPN stat website because this has him playing 43 minutes. He did not play 43 minutes in this game. There's no fucking way.
Well,
once Shelstad was out, Rigsby
was in.
Yeah, Rigsby was a starter at that point.
And Rigsby was also in during what's his name's timeout?
Kuznard.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a go-to. And
I don't know. I feel like that might be right. He was there a lot. He just wasn't a focal point because he's not the most effective player, but I do think because he is that Charlie Day wild card, which is why I kind of love him.
Yeah.
His
defense.
He makes you worried about your eyes. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you might get gouged.
He might poke out both your eyes. His defense, again, this is for more of the watchers here, is so funny to me because it is just like it's like Doctor Strange, like 30 hand style, just going like. It's like he also waving around like a madman.
I also love the fact that whenever it gets down into, I call it a scrum because that's what you call it in rugby whenever you all pile up on the ball. he could be 5 feet away from the damn thing, but he will jump directly towards that thing, and it does not matter whose knees are in his way.
Well, yeah, but I also don't like...
I love him. I think he's great. I love the whole team, honestly. I thought...
Oh, yeah. I love the team.
Mean, statistically, you can be negative, sure.
Yeah.
But take away the stats and just watch a team.
Mm-hmm.
They're an enjoyable, yet frustrating team of beautiful human beings.
I'm going to say some negative things about this game.
Go for it.
And some of these, a little, performance in this. But I don't want to take away from, like, we were playing with house money, man. It's amazing. Yeah. It's truly an amazing coaching and player achievement that we got this far. Because it's an amazing to be this injured and to get this far. And to almost make the Sweet 16. Like,
hella injured.
Yeah, hella
ranked 11th against the number 3 team.
Or seeded 11th even.
Thank
Not
you.
in the top 25 even. Yeah.
Thank you. That's what that number was. We were seeded 11. Okay. Mm-hmm. That makes more sense because I was like, that seems way too high for our national ranking.
Yeah, no, seeded 11.
We injured, wild, but had the lead multiple times. I feel like this game had 11 lead changes, I think, or something like that.
Maybe.
We kept an amazing team on their toes constantly and almost won it outright.
Almost. Oh my God.
We almost won this thing straight up, no overtimes.
So let's talk about, and especially this, it's I don't know, it's like kind of when you're talking about a great sad movie where you're like, I don't want to talk about the movie because it bums me out. Yep. I don't like thinking about the movie because it was so sad, but it doesn't take away from how great this was.
This was a fucking Cool Runnings moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't win, but it's the heart that matters.
It's the heart. We brought in that bobsled regardless. The second half, by the way, I just read an article where the actors in that movie, Cool Runnings, were like, they literally told us to talk like Sebastian the Crab. They're like, what's the point of making this movie if you guys aren't talking basically Jamaican, like Sebastian the Crab? Yeah. Which is like, unfortunate. That probably is one of the reasons why that movie is like beloved. But I don't know. It made me laugh. Anyways.
Well, we all love that. What was that college TV show with Dwayne? Anyways,
college
he was
TV show.
Yeah, there was a TV show about college kids. God, I just can't think of it. But one of the guys in Another World.
Yeah, the Bill Cosby spinoff.
Yeah, one of the guys from that show was also in Cool Runnings. That has nothing to do with this. He's very much beloved human being. We all love him.
The sad thing is, I was like, okay, college show with a black person. Well, there's only been one of those in the history of the world. That's a predominantly black college show.
Yeah,
well, that's
it was a black college. It was an HBCU.
It was an HBCU because it's the same college, I believe, that Bill Cosby's character went to, which used to be a heartwarming thing to think about, but not so much anymore.
It did. That did used to be nice.
It wasn't a bad show. Remember, it had the guy with the double glasses.
That's who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wayne.
That's him.
His name was Dwayne Wayne or Dwayne Wayne or something like that.
It was something goofy like that. Those glasses, man, they got to come back. They basically have, but
they're back.
Yeah, they're back. Speaking of back, let's get back on Quack. So that second half, I was like with my girlfriend and her dad. I was because we were watching it together. I was joking like, if your name is not Kuznard or Dante, you need to pass to Kuznard or Dante. Like, I don't want to see a goddamn shot from anybody else. And I was kind of like joking, obviously, but it felt that way.
But that was the truth.
I honestly think Dana Altman was like, Kuznard and Dante are the only people allowed to shoot this ball unless you are wide open, and no one was ever wide open. And I also think Kuznard was being like, fuck this. It's me. It's all on
it's
me.
also, I might push back on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Only because there came a point, I believe it was in the second half, where all of a sudden Kuznard's being double teamed. So it's like, okay, well now he's starting, he's getting double teamed way back midcourt.
They did that late because they kept doing, they were like, okay, our game is the Dante Kuznard pick and roll.
And they learned that.
They learned it pretty late though, because they kept being like, if they want Kuznard to shoot every single shot, we'll let them do that and we'll live with the consequences. And then eventually, basically like the first overtime, they were like, we need to stop this. And so they would, no matter what, double Kuznard so that then it was a tougher pass to get to Dante.
Right. They also had, because they also had many minutes of like, well, literally no one else on this team can make a shot, so we might as well double team Kuznard because I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned Rigsby will make one.
They should have. They genuinely should have. I mean, and literally, if we're just looking at the stats, our bench scored 0 points. They only took 3 shots, even.
Wow.
Anyone who's not Dante or Kuznard, okay. If you weren't Dante or Kuznard, Dante and Kuznard, together they scored 60 goddamn points. Wow. The rest of the team scored 13. 7 of those were Shellstad. 6 of those were Tracy.
Wow.
And I really think Shellstad, because Shellstad got his leg straight up stomped, his ankle. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say it was a dirty play, but it certainly...
It was a bit accidental. He was coming down.
It was called a
And
penalty,
the way that the way that player landed, you could tell he wasn't, he was out of control too. Like the way his leg shifted out was unnatural.
Yeah.
It's just what happens.
I'm not blaming anyone. It was called penalty, but that took Shellstad out of the game. He did twist his ankle there. He had an ankle sprain. One thing that I really respect Dana Altman, because you can't say this about every coach, there are coaches who would have put him back in because the stakes are so high. Dana Altman was like, that was never going to happen, which I really like that.
Yeah.
That was also a really sad one because it felt like even if we were going to win, this is a Pyrrhic victory. Like, if Shellstad is out for the rest, which who knows what would have happened, but if Shellstad's out for the rest of the tournament, literally we have 0 chance of winning the next game.
We would have had multiple days off again.
Yeah, but...
And we would have been in the Sweet 16.
And
who gives a shit? Beat us by 30 points. We got here.
Yeah,
that's all that matters. We are here. We are top 16.
So this second half was truly, the best duo performance by any Duck duo in the history of our program. Yeah. I should say, actually, so Kuznard last game against South Carolina broke the program record.
That's right.
I want to say Tawan Porter had it before him. 40 points was the most any Duck had ever scored in March Madness.
He tied his best.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Also,
and Kuznard ended up with 32 points in this one, which is just goddamn amazing.
And I think a great point to take away with this game that really shines a light on the quality of team that dipshits were. I'm not even going to say their name anymore.
They weren't that bad.
They kept us away from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And then when we did get to, or the free throw line.
Free throw line, yeah.
And then when we did get there, it was fucking Dante.
Yeah.
The wrong guy, which again is another mistake.
That's
maybe
on us. That's on us.
But that was a mistake that Tracy got. He's an emotional man.
I want to say Kwame. I want to say that was Kwame actually inbounding the ball.
Oh, I thought it was Tracy.
I mean, my memory, I'm never going to rewatch this game.
Yeah.
But I believe, because I remember them saying it was a freshman mistake.
See, maybe I thought it was Tracy, which made me believe Tracy was a freshman. You're probably right. I think it was Kwame.
So Kwame,
you're right.
I'm sure some other people are making mistake. For some reason, it truly was like the best person to inbound it too. The only person that was the option was Dante. And this is late in the game. We have a 2-point lead. This is the regular time. And we inbound it to an amazing player, but his Achilles heel, like many big men, is honestly his Achilles heel because he's injured. But is his free throw. Yeah. And it's kind of fucked up. I'm not going to say like the refs screwed us here, but for our first free throw to be this late in the game did feel like they were letting anything happen in this game. It was kind of nuts.
Were they? I was curious. I just assumed they were being really smart about not fouling us.
I don't think it was the most egregious thing, but there was literally a time when Kuznard was getting fucking choked by a Creighton player, and that was apparently fine.
You know what? I'm going to say something crazy. I'm going to say it wild, and I'm going to say it loose because that's what I do.
Aaron style.
But a couple of those dudes on Creighton, I would never trust them with my daughter. They look like some redneck MAGA motherfuckers that I mean, like, dude, if you can't grow a beard, shave it because you look fucking stupid.
Right,
and you look like you might beat somebody, specifically a woman. I'm not saying they do. But when you have when you have a team of all white guys, something's problematic on that bench. I'm telling you right now. Something's going on.
You would love BYU basketball.
Oh,
right,
brother.
Let me tell you about it.
Ugh.
Aaron immediately not immediately, 45 minutes in is going, we played a team of white supremacists.
Maybe. Probably.
Probably not.
They look like assholes to me.
Well, yeah, they
a white man strangling a black man and getting away with it. What does that sound like to you? It sounds like a fucking cop.
We played a team of cops. We all know it.
They look like cops. They look like cops in training, little pieces of shit.
Well, now that we've said these bad, completely out of the left field things about Creighton, I will say, as a team, Creighton did do a really good job of answering. Because there were so many times where it was like, well, hit this 3 or Oregon's going to win. Or hit a 2 or Oregon's going to win. They did. They found a great way of getting the answer.
Do you have the stat for how many threes they took? Because they definitely showed off that they are a team that even if they're missing the 3, that's not going to stop them from constantly trying.
Yeah, and that's
ballsy basketball. And it paid off.
It paid off. That's who they are, and especially oh my God, that first half. I don't have it off the top of my head or written down, but it was 27 shots. That's usually more.
It's insane
than you get in a game usually.
Yes. I thought the announcer said they averaged 33. Yeah. They averaged 33-point shots a game.
They were 15 of 39. They took 39.
That's not a great stat, but it pays off because you do it so much.
It ends up being 38% from 3-point, which is good. Better than we did.
Oh, is that good?
If you're shooting a third, that's good.
Oh, okay.
Considered good, yeah.
I would want my team to be above 50% if I were to trust them.
You'd be a great coach if you got your team to do 50%. They shot 38% from the floor, though. That's not good. But then the 3-point game, especially late, that's what kept him in. Dante misses that free throw, and it was heartbreaking. And in the post game, Dante says, they were like, "Hey, Dante, what was it? 28 points and 20 rebounds. They're like, this is actually the best game you've ever played statistically for Oregon. And I'm paraphrasing as I always do, but he basically said like, no, this is not my best game because we lost. And he was like, he's like, I wish I would have. He's like, I put the blame on myself. I didn't hit that free throw. We hit that free throw, we probably win. Like it's pretty amazing to put the blame on yourself when it's like, bro, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Also, you scored 28 of our 73
I can
points.
also point to multiple directly underneath the bucket off the backboard no goal as being the reason why we lost this game is because after that missed free throw, we had several attempts for 2 points and biffed them. Yeah. And it was just at the point in the game where you can't biff those because they will answer back, and they did.
And they did. And then so we go to overtime, and immediately I'm like, okay, now we're actually fucked.
Yeah, now we're cooked.
Because Shellstad's on the bench. We have 2 players on this team, apparently. And they're mortal men.
And they know that.
Yeah. They are mortal men. They can only do so much. But again, to speak to how amazing this team is, and specifically how amazing Couisnard is, it came down to it. It came down to like Creighton got the early lead, but we needed to get a 3. It came down to clutch time, and Couisnard drains the 3.
Dude.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it was up to Creighton to finish off that first overtime.
And they miss it, yeah.
Yeah. You know, like, they had to tie us at the end of that first overtime. Mm-hmm. The problem came in second overtime when it was just
second overtime, now every time it's like just double.
We're so cooked, dude. So cooked.
Absolutely cooked. I mean, also, I believe it was the one I think it was in the first overtime that Tracy made his third shot, which was the only shot in the second half that was not by Couisnard or Dante. Right. I believe. I forget who.
No, you're accurate. The announcers even brought up that in the first overtime that it was just Couisnard and Dante the entire second half.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. And then, so in the second overtime, we're gassed, dude. It's just too much to ask.
That's fine.
It honestly is.
We took them to task, bro. We made a great team sweat.
They had 4 players all score more than 17 points. It really felt like Ashworth, his 5 of 15 from 3. That was what did it. All I just want to say is, I mean, it was a heartbreaking loss, yeah. But what an amazing run. This is why I love college basketball. This is why I love March Madness. This is why I love Dana Altman. Like, if it's going to come together, this is what it's going to look like with Dana Altman's team. And, oh, goddamn, I just had that. There's that flash of a moment. They double Couisnard. Couisnard is still amazingly able to get it out to Dante. Dante has someone on him, so he passes it to Rigsby. It flies through Rigsby's hand for a turnover, and I'm like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm talking.
It was a bit of a wild pass.
Yeah,
That's not fully Rigsby's bad.
Yeah,
I don't think he wasn't. I mean, Dante was right there. Everyone in the stadium expected him to jump up and smash it in, but he passed out, and Rigsby was just not ready.
But if it hits your hands, when Dante and Couisnard are doing God's work out there, and then they're like, here, Rigsby, do one goddamn thing, and you don't do the thing. Anyways, I'm talking a lot of crap about these players. I really shouldn't. I'm excited to see all of them. I'm excited as hell to see Rigsby. As far as as of this moment, who's for sure kind of coming back. Maybe not even for sure, but
it's a little early.
Well, like some play. like usually it's this time, right when your team is knocked out of March Madness. This is when it's going to find out. You find out your coach is retiring. You find out your coach is being hired away.
Mm-hmm.
You find out players are entering the transfer portal. This is the time.
It's that fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, because they already know, but you want to wait till the end of March Madness. Cause
it's only shit.
It's only going to hurt you to say it in the middle of this run.
Right.
As far as I know who I've seen, now we have some seniors, obviously. Like Diawara, I don't believe is returning. Dante is over and over. I think Dante, I still have not had a legit answer because I know you get medical, you can get, through medical, like red shirt, you can get an extra year. Through anyone who played 2020, you get an extra COVID year.
Right.
So I think he could, but I'm fairly certain Dante is just, the amount of times they've said and he's said this is my final season, he's not coming back, which is good for him. I want him to make better money.
Yeah. You think he's going NBA?
Probably not. I would love if he did. He's probably going overseas, but guess what? You can still have a great fucking life.
I see.
You can still be a millionaire playing overseas. Be beloved.
In Russia, though.
Well, dude, there's plenty of other places on China, Russia.
End of list.
France. No,
there you go. Take me to France.
Spain, Spanish League. Like there are
North
many
Korea.
Other, they probably do if you wanted to.
Yeah.
But no, you can have a great fucking. There's really good leagues where you can still be a superstar and have an awesome baller life and not be in the NBA. I hope he does, and I feel like NBA's an idiot if they don't take a chance, quote unquote, chance on Kuznard. Like, did you see what he just did? God damn.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Here's what you do. You put the Supersonics back together.
Yeah, there you go.
You make him your point. You just put him right on. You put him right on, and that's just the end of the story. He stays in the Pacific Northwest. He becomes a folklore hero that 100 years from now, everyone talks about as this mythical, being.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Well, there you go.
That's his future.
That's what you do. That's what you do.
That's it.
So, yeah, those two definitely out. Jackson Shellstad, which you never know with transfer, shit. It was very nice that even though he's a freshman, I mean, you assume he's so in love with Peyton Pritchard and the path that Pritchard took. You imagine he's not leaving the University of Oregon, especially after a really promising season like this one, where he was a star, he was starting, he's
he got to the dance, he can do it again.
Yeah. He retweeted a photo of Dana Altman has his arm around Shellstad. He's clearly pointing out something on the court, being like, "We need you to do this. We need you to do this." He reposted that and just said I forget exactly what he said but green and yellow hearts or something. We can assume he's not going anywhere.
Basically, he's like, now I'm the foreman.
Yeah, I mean he already was, which is pretty amazing,
Yeah.
He may be the leader, true leader. It was clear Kuznard and Dante were the leaders here.
Well, it's funny though, right? Because Kuznard, I don't think showed up as the leader until kind of late in the season. Because I think everybody was putting so much weight on Shellstad.
Yeah. I think he really took control late on. I mean, he has the most experience out of all these guards. So Shellstad's definitely coming back. Tracy said he's very excited to be with this team next year.
Good.
Which even if I'm saying stuff about I don't know if he should be a starter, you absolutely need players like Tracy and Brennan Rigsby. Brennan Rigsby has also said, I'm absolutely coming back next year.
I love both of them to the end of the moon.
Yeah. And then Kwame Evans Jr., I saw an article which he said he's not sure if he's coming back next year, which usually means I want you to, let's talk about this.
Let's butter this bread.
Here. Now, you can't teach the kind of talent, the kind of height he has. At the same time, He scored 0 goddamn points in this Creighton game. So obviously, once a duck, always a duck. I want him to return. I think he's a good guy. Even if he were to leave, I wouldn't be bad-mouthing him or anything. But when the last time I saw you play, you did basically absolutely fucking nothing for us in a crucial game where we needed like 2 points from you. We needed 1 point from you. That's right. You know? Or more rebounds. Like he got 5 rebounds. And now, when that's happening, if you were to leave, I'm not exactly going to shed a tear, but it would be a big loss for us if you did.
I'll tell you this, though, too. There's a story I was reading about, which I absolutely love, but apparently some pieces of shit out there are like, this is why we need to change the NIL, blah, blah, blah. If he wants to use this as a pivot point to entice another team to take him on so that he can go there for the offseason.
Which is technically against the rules, but does happen.
Yeah. Make a couple of racks in NIL money and then immediately come right back to the Ducks.
People have done that.
Do it. I mean, some guy just did it. He was playing for Bama, went home to Iowa or Idaho or something, got $100K, and then went right back to Bama.
Interesting.
And it's like, bro, work the system. Do it.
I mean,
he was like a number 1 linebacker for Alabama, so like he has that bargaining power.
Yeah.
Kwame,
I think you're talking about an O-lineman.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
I remember because we were in talks to try to get him for a while, but it didn't work out for us. We don't need him.
Well, which is good because he wasn't going to stay wherever he went anyway.
Clearly.
But if Kwame wants to try that out, fucking go for it, brother.
I mean, I imagine our NIL is pretty freaking good. There's no way our football recruiting would be as good as it is if our NIL wasn't as good. I'm interested in what the basketball NIL is because clearly for women's basketball, it's not enough to attract talent that is outside of the state of Oregon and that is inside the top 100 prospects. So.
But apparently in men's basketball, it's enough to buy your mama a house.
Hell yeah, exactly.
So, doing pretty good.
That's why anytime people are talking shit about NIL, I'm like, look at my man Dante, who has given so many years in his actual body, like his years of health to our team, many years for fucking nothing except for a scholarship, which is getting more and more useless every year.
That's right.
And then now we get to pay him only for 1 year, and he supposedly gives every single goddamn dollar to his mom back in Mali. Yep. That's why it's fucking worth it, man.
I gotta say, anybody who poo-poos NIL is either A, pro-slavery, or B, jealous as fuck. Because they still got $30K in school debt, and these guys got 30 plus K in the bank.
Oh, yeah. Well,
either way, you need to wisen up, motherfuckers.
They're jealous of the programs. Like, they're rooting for a have-not team, like in Oregon State, which I would be like, sucks. I would be jealous when Oregon is, doing what they're doing.
Who gives a shit?
Also, I love the last little fact that I remember from this tournament, really, for the Ducks, is I love whatever dumb motherfucker for South Carolina talked shit to Kuznard. It wasn't crazy.
Oh, at the end of the game?
Or, no, it was during game. During the game, he shot a 3 and did like normal trash talk where he was like, in, or something like that, over Kuznard. And basically apparently Kuznard like knew the guy, like kind of like took him under his wing when
because it's his old stomping grounds.
Yeah. Basically Kuznard was like, I took that personally. Like he's like, oh no, I'm not gonna have a freshman guy someone who I think of as a young buck talk shit to me. Oh no, and he said that really fueled him, which is awesome.
It's exactly why I want Mike Tyson to floor Jake Paul in 30 seconds.
Dude,
I don't want some puppy coming into my house
Yeah.
and telling me that he can do whatever I do 10 times better. Fuck no, you can't, brother.
No, you can't. I get it, man. I fucking get it. Now, I want to get into this. We got to get into
the bracket.
The brackets. That's right. Now,
I'm doing trash terrible.
You are doing pretty trash terrible.
Every team I thought was going to take it in the first round had like those magic moments of complete upset.
Well, I'll tell you this. Anyone, which is about, a good number of people in our group, had Oregon winning. They're all fucked because Oregon's out.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
To dream.
As of right now, someone named I Don't Even Watch Basketball is their bracket name, is leading us, but they have Oregon winning it.
Okay.
Of course, actually, so Seaberg 8, who's someone I know, who has won one of our brackets in the past. They're in second place, and they got UConn, and UConn's looking pretty fucking good.
Huh.
Otherwise, yeah, a bunch of UConn. I think Houston, I think that's a really smart choice.
I did push Houston pretty far in, but then had them lose out to someone.
Yeah, you're doing pretty amazingly bad. You did.
Yeah, because I had Texas going further, but they got beat by Tennessee.
Let me tell you, dude. Next year,
like 3. Yeah.
Next year, you got to commit to those first 2 days of March Madness, where there is literally like 16 games one day, and then tomorrow we're going to show 16 games. The amount, and because you're watching, I mean, this is a widely talked about thing, but you're watching someone. There's a guy named Golke. You would have fucking loved this dude.
Okay.
Played for Oakland, right? I've never even heard of Oakland college basketball.
It's like I've never heard of Grand Canyon University.
Oh yeah, that's another
They
one.
were there somehow.
They were there, yeah.
Apparently
it's like,
they're a privatized. They're a private shared company on Wall Street. Like what? This college is a corporation?
People were investing in them because of the basketball team. But I know it's insane. But Oakland is so funny. They had this coach who's been there for like 40 years, I believe. And he recruited this one guy who was pretty good, right?
Okay.
And he was pretty decent on the team. And then decades later, that guy's son, who's pretty dang good, Townsend, he decided he wanted to play for the guy who his dad played for. So that combined with this one guy who's just like the classic white guy who's like, I shoot threes. His name's Golke. They were one of my favorite teams to watch. He hit 10 3-pointers in a game. And
that's Larry Bird status.
It was the funniest thing to watch because his stat line is like 10 of 20 3-pointers, 0 2-pointers. Like I think it was like 1 assist. Like literally his only job is to shoot the 3, and the confidence that he shot it with, he would just like, in my hands, I'm flying backwards, hand in my face. You know I'm shooting this motherfucker. And like it was amazing. I loved watching this guy play. Watching and he did an interview afterwards. He's like, I know I'm not making an NBA team, but I'm going against guys who are for sure NBA talent. And this is the only place you can see, and I'm gonna win. Like it's the only place you're gonna see this kind of thing. It's amazing.
Well, I was going to say, even though he knows he's not going to the NBA, I was going to say there's only one route to becoming the next Steph Curry, and that is just by shooting threes.
He broke Steph Curry's very specific March Madness record, shooting 10 of these threes. Yeah. I mean, it was a weird one. He's no Steph Curry, but he broke. It was like a single game, 10-point, double. It's like one of those records where you're like, okay, you put too much qualifiers. It kind of doesn't mean anything to me anymore. But he did break a Steph Curry record.
Hey.
Now, I also want to
record is a record.
Hey, record's a record.
Longest fingernails is a record.
That's a record. But when you're like, longest fingernails in America from 1990 to 2005.
Between the ages of 25 and 30.
Then I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore. I'll tell you this. So let's do even though it doesn't really have anything to do with us because it's women's tournament and
I didn't think we were covering this.
We didn't. I just want to tell you. Well, we do have a bracket. And guess who's number 1 in that bracket? Yours truly. Because my theory of Pac-12 is the best, we're going to beat every single team. Even the big names like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, we're going to beat them. So far, it's looking pretty fucking good. I got USC winning it all. Number 2, though, is Seaburg 8. Second place in both brackets. So
who?
I don't... it's my friend Cassandra, who has one in the past.
Oh, that's the
She's
username.
great.
I thought that was a school. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, what the fuck? No. Just amazing. Just amazing. That's all I got to say, really. I love March Madness. I'm still excited to watch it. The most exciting parts of those first 2 days, when there's multiple games going on, multiple upsets, just crazy-ass shit going on, really nuts storylines.
Yeah. And that's what got me. That's what kind of shot me in the foot was that I don't even watch basketball. I also don't watch basketball unless the name is Oregon Ducks attached to it. Mm-hmm. So I was just going straight up like, I've at least heard of this school, and so therefore they'll probably keep going forward.
Yeah.
But like half of them got beat out by the school I'd never heard of.
Oh,
like I said, I've never heard of Creighton.
Well, I mean, if you paid attention to college basketball, you would have heard of Creighton. But
exactly.
Yeah. But they're not. I mean, that's not as a university. If you aren't paying attention to basketball, why would you know Creighton University?
Yeah, I mean the closest thing I kept thinking it was Kratom.
Oh, I get it. Creighton. Yale. I love whenever the Ivy Leagues upset. That's always a funny thing. Like Yale won a game. Like I don't know. It's funny. It's funny.
It's
anyways.
funny.
What any wise words to break down what has been a truly fantastic basketball season? Ups and downs, dramatic but fun as hell.
No, well, no. I think we had a roller coaster season. It's exactly what you do and do not want from basketball. I think we lost the tournament, but we came out winners.
Yes.
I think we had a squad that rose to the occasion on behalf of their coach. Mm-hmm. And we had a season where we learned our coach actually cares for the health and safety of his players.
It was a pretty revealing season for Dana Altman, who is very usually stoic.
Yeah.
Like emotional on the court, but not so much in the press room. And he laid it out, dude. He really laid it out, and you can tell he loved, like especially Dante. And I think fucking dude.
I think that only is going to increase our chances to really recruit the fuck out of some A-list talent for next season, because we live in a time where young people are way more aware of their surroundings and their situations. And I think when older humans lead with empathy and kindness, it counts for way much more.
Look at that.
So I think we're going all the way next season. Easy peas, lemon squeeze. I think we're also going to have the most valuable player.
His name is Dana Altman.
Dana is going to suit up. He's going to re-enroll in college.
Well, hold on.
He's going to have the wrinkliest knees you've ever seen on the court.
I realized I put that in a weird spot, but I was going to end this podcast saying something. I put it in a weird spot, but I was going to say, his name is Dana Altman, and he aligns Rubik's Cubes.